Hello and welcome to January 2021's edition of Nordic Stories from the National Nordic Museum in Seattle, Washington. The first Thursday of each month, we celebrate a Scandinavian author or illustrator. And for January, we have this book called Miss Hazeltine's Home for Shy and Fearful Cats. It was written by Alicia Potter and illustrated by Birgitta Sif, who is from Iceland. So let's start with our story. Cats. Do you see cats? Miss Hazeltine's Home for Shy and Fearful Cats. To my feral foster kittens, who inspired this story, and Yodel, who stayed. To my perfect little girls, Soli and Salka. When Miss Hazeltine opened her home for shy and fearful cats, she didn't know if anyone would come. But they did. He runs from mice. She's scared of birds. Can't pounce. Won't purr. Hopeless. Worthless. Afraid of everything. Strays who could read Miss Hazeltine's sign skittered in on their own. Then there was Crumb, the most timid of all. He dashed in the door and hid. Do you see Crumb? There's Crumb under the carpet and all the other unwanted cats. Cats that people thought had something wrong with them. Miss Hazeltine began her lessons at once. In the morning, she taught bird basics. In the afternoon, climbing up, followed by climbing down. And at night, there were scary noises. Many cats received extra help in meeting new friends. And Miss Hazeltine showed cats how to hold their tails high and arch their backs and to think good thoughts. Every day they practiced pouncing. Pounce. Pounce. The hardest lesson was how not to fear the broom. Maybe you have a cat at home. Is your cat needing help in some of these areas? Miss Hazeltine didn't mind if some cats only watched. She let them be, like Crumb. Miss Hazeltine told him sometimes she got scared. I'm afraid of mushrooms and owls, she confided, and I've never liked the dark. She praised Crumb for his love of being in pitch dark places. Crumb lapped up every word. One day he hoped to find courage to thank her. Still he worried, would he ever be brave? Soon more cats came to Miss Hazeltine's home, and more and more. So many arrived that on a Monday at 5 o'clock, when everyone but Crumb was fast asleep, Miss Hazeltine ran out of milk. Oh no! I'm off to fetch a bucketful, she told Crumb, and will be back before dark. Crumb watched her go. By the time Miss Hazeltine rounded the road back home, the sun had begun to set. The heavy buckets sloshed and slowed her down, and her ankles were wibbly-wobbly from all the pouncing. Miss Hazeltine tripped and fell into the ditch. Oof! With her ankles sore and throbbing, ouch, Miss Hazeltine was stuck. She shivered in the dark. The pitch black dark. Was that an owl hooting? Whoo, 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 whoo. She peered around. Mushrooms! Miss Hazeltine tried to think good thoughts. Do you remember? These are all the things that she's afraid of. Back home, the cats did the same. They were alone and very, very afraid, and they didn't know where Miss Hazeltine had gone. And they hadn't yet had the lesson about what to do when the lady you love goes missing. But Crumb knew where Miss Hazeltine had gone, and maybe, just maybe, what to do. Crumb stepped into the moonlight. He arched his back and held his tail high. He gathered the others. And armed with nothing but an old broom, the residents of Miss Hazeltine's home for shy and fearful cats streamed out into the night. Down in the ditch, Miss Hazeltine groaned. What will happen to the cats? She whispered, and dear, dear Crumb. Yet something was happening. The cats felt in their chests with Crumb at the fore. They followed the sweet smell of milk down the road. Straight to Miss Hazeltine. And at Crumb's meow, the cats stared down the mushrooms. Can you stare at them? And they purred to drown out the sound of the owl's hoots. Purr, purr. Can you make a cat purr? Purr. And they pounced to make sure that nothing was lurking in the dark. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Pounce. Pounce. Then they formed a chain of cats to rescue Miss Hazeltine from the ditch, and the broom became an excellent crutch. Miss Hazeltine was escorted back to the home for shy and pretty brave, if you ask us, cats. They amended the sign. You're as bold as lions, Miss Hazeltine told her rescuers, and whether you stay forever or head out into the world, I will never forget your courage. The cats were so happy that they didn't even miss their milk, especially Crumb, who found a new favorite spot. And that is the end of Miss Hazeltine's home for shy and fearful cats. Thank you so much for listening. And now we will make a craft together that is a cat made out of felt that you could make into something you can hang from your door in your bedroom, or attach a keychain onto it so you can hang it from your backpack. Or you can put a pin or a safety pin like this onto the back, and then you could pin it onto your shirt or jacket. So I'll take you through the steps of how to make this cute little cat face out of felt. If you use plain felt like this, you could also color or decorate your cat with different kinds of markers or paint. Or if you have gray or black or orange felt, you could make any kind of cat to match what kind of cat you would like, or maybe even to match a cat that you have at home. All right, so there's our craft, and we'll do that next. Welcome to the craft portion. Here is your felt keychain cat that you can make. It could also be a pin if you want to put a safety pin on the back. It could have a loop like this that could hang on something, or if you make it bigger, it can hang around a doorknob on the entrance to your room. Or if you have one of these, this is what you would use to make it into a keychain by actually sewing it right on there like that. So I have a template that's a cat face, and you'll see that linked in the bottom here on the YouTube page for Storytime for Nordic Stories. You'll need some stuffing, a piece of felt. I do recommend maybe a lighter color so that you could decorate your cat with different kinds of markings if you'd like, using a marker. Or if you just want to make a solid cat, you could choose whatever color felt you'd like. And then it's nice to have some of this embroidery thread if you want to use that for putting on the whiskers. But you know, if you only have black thread, it's fine to just do a couple runs of black thread for the whiskers. I have these fancy kind of eyes that you can get at the craft store that poke through and then have a connector from the back that you could use for eyes. But you know, you can also just put puff paint, or you could just use your Sharpie to make eyes, especially if you're decorating your cat. If some of you are preschool age, it's probably easiest to do that. If you're elementary age, you might try doing the stitching and these other types of eyes as attachments. But basically, you're just going to take your template and line it up on your piece of felt, and you're going to make an outline with Sharpie around the edge of your cat so that you can cut it out. And then once you have it cut out, there's two things you can do. If you know how to stitch, you can stitch together the edges of your felt and then stuff it at the top with your stuffing and then attach your hanger. Or if you're younger and you have a big person to help you, instead of stitching, you put hot glue along the inside and just press the edges together. And you know what? That also works. So you could use hot glue, or you could use stitching for this. So I hope you enjoy the craft. And now we will have a language lesson in Icelandic. Hello. Today we have Odin here with us to be practicing a few words in Icelandic. So thanks for coming, Odin. If I were in Iceland, how would I say hello?
Halló.
Halló. Halló. Okay, can you at home say it? It sounds almost like English, right? Okay, now how would I say the word cat, because there's cats in our story today?
Kisa.
Kesa. All right. And then if I wanted my cat to come to me, how would I say, come here, kitty?
Komdu kissa mín.
Come du kissa mín. Come du kissa mín. Okay. All right, great. And then if I were to say good day, how would I say that?
Góðan dag.
Góðan dag. And how would I say good night?
God natt.
Gute Nacht. All right. And then if I were to say goodbye, what would I say?
Bless.
Bless. I like that. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Odin. Bye.
Bless, bless.
Bless, bless.